Hey everybody, welcome to More Than Mises, guys. I'm here with Boo, the Axel Underground.
Howdy.
And this is Challenge of the Gobots, Genius and Son.
Not Sanford and Son, Genius and Son.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I know.
It would have been cool if Red Fox did like a guest part on here. You
Ooh.
big dummy.
Oh, Crusher. It's the big one, Crusher. Oh, God, here it comes.
He would make a great renegade.
What would his alt mode be?
Oh, he'd be the junk truck, dude.
Oh, you're right. He would totally be the dump truck.
Yeah, the one Lamont drives around.
Oh God, that's such a fun freaking show. I
Oh
watched
man,
so
you know
that.
what's that junkie on? They've got that does it. He turns into like the truck now,
Oh
the new one.
yeah.
That
Oh,
needs to be like customized into like
Red
Sanford and
Sanford.
Son's like junk truck. I bet you could do one of the laser rods like that too.
I don't touch Electro. Thank you very much. One wheel came off, and no,
He's probably the closest one to it.
he is. He totally is. He's all gold plastic.
We need to like laser scan him and then make a new one in like that
Yeah.
rust red,
Everybody who has a 3D printer, why haven't y'all made a new Electro yet?
right?
I don't care about the electronics. The electronics are separate. We can do that later. Let's make a new Electro so we can actually have an Electro because I really like the
Dude,
laser rods.
I I was watching that video that Zabgoth posted about the Weejang like
Hmm.
KO racket they had going.
Yeah.
Why didn't those guys make like replacement parts for all the gold plastic stuff? They wanted to be like real like underdog heroes, you know.
Man, that would have been the biggest thing. If we could have had like, I don't know, I'm like looking around like a new rocket launcher for Spark, a new waist for oh God, what is his the hero, like I guess the leader of the
Come on, Thunderclash?
Thunderclash, thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um
well, all of them like that. Like you said, Electro, Black Zarek, was it Bristleback,
Kill
and
Bison,
yeah. There's so many that the Beast Wars Grimlock. Just make
B2
the gold plastic
Silverbolt,
parts. No, not Silverbolt, Slingshot.
Slingshot, sorry, yeah,
That dude
Slingshot.
is like entirely gold plastic.
He is also the pre-movie protoform Starscream from the
Yeah,
2007 movie.
just make replacement stuff for like all those.
That would have been the biggest windfall for them.
Oh yeah, everybody be on their side then.
Well, I'm a fan of a little knockoff action, so
That's not knockoff. That's aftermarket parts. Is what that is at that point.
branding, that's
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
that's true though. I mean, that's luckily, who didn't have any gold plastic?
GoBots.
There you go. Thank you.
You can still throw GoBots at people, and the people will break before the GoBots will.
Dude, I did a little short with the leader one, the kind of the how far I've come with the restoring the color on him. He still needs some
Hmm.
work. I got to put him back into the light. But he's like probably 60 to 70% metal.
Yeah. Is that
Oh,
the Super GoBot one?
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's huge, dude.
He's the size of a decent sized deluxe War for not War for yeah, War for Cybertron Siege or whatever figure.
Yeah.
He's easily the size of like of Siege Wheeljack, actually a little taller.
Yeah. We made pictures of him like side by side with like G1 Starscream, and he's like bigger and heavier than Starscream.
Actually, he might be. He is. Oh
Yeah, he
God, he
is.
is. He's got more metal on him for sure.
We weighed him, so yeah, he's heavier.
The dude's stacked. I mean, like Zemon. Um,
And he doesn't parts form at all.
no, everything works. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of. He doesn't have a lot of. Um, he
He doesn't
doesn't
have a
have,
lot of flipping and fancy stuff, but
but it
it,
works.
yeah, he's everything that's on him comes from him. You don't have to add or take away to change the mode.
I think the next one I want to get is going to be definitely the Super Gobot Psykill
Yeah, I'd
because
love that one.
yeah, he's just yes, he doesn't have all the chrome that the smaller regular one has, but I mean honestly, everything's self-contained.
Well, yeah, they just did it in gray plastic though, so you don't have to worry about the chrome wear. So he holds up pretty well. I think the rubber tires are all you got to really look out for.
Yeah, and that's honestly that's a
But it's
problem.
all self-contained too. He's not
Yeah.
going to lose any of his parts. So,
Uh-uh. That's actually really nice about the Super GoBots that everything is self-contained.
well, for those two, the there's others that like have weapons
Oh
and
well,
stuff
there's
like that to
Bug
go with
Bite
them.
has like the stuff that sits on his back. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
Psycho, he doesn't have he's all self-contained.
I thought he had a weapon frame that went on top
I
or
don't
something.
think so, but I mean,
Maybe
maybe
not.
wrong.
Maybe
I've
I'm just
never
thinking
seen
of
it.
yeah.
Bug
I
Bite
know
definitely
Bug.
does.
Yeah, Bug Bite does.
Zemon and Hair Fiend do not. I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. I'm not as well versed on
I
the
do
toys as I
really
used
want
to be.
Warpath. Is that the one, the helicopter?
I don't, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not as well versed in the toys as I should be. It's been a long time since I've
You
dealt with like,
freaking poser.
I know, right?
You're a Smurf and poser, and I'm
I
gonna
got
tell
the
everyone.
I got the GoBots that I got, and I haven't really dove into hunting the rest of them down, but I need to.
Give you the clamps.
That's right. So, Genius and Son.
Yeah,
Did you see who wrote this?
I didn't. I missed that.
Okay, it's written by John Loy, who also wrote for the following animated series. He wrote for Super Friends, The Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley.
Oh God,
Yeah, that
I
Martin
forgot about
Short
that.
cartoon. Yeah, where he did his Saturday Night Live character with
Yeah.
the dippity doo hair.
Hmm.
Yeah. The Smurfs, Pinky and the Brain,
Hmm.
Earthworm Jim,
Hmm.
Crypto the Super Dog,
Hmm.
Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015.
Interesting.
Yeah. Teen Titans Go, and he's done like a ton of the Land Before Time, like sequels and TV series and stuff they've done. So he's worked on all that. And
Okay.
then the other writer of this episode is Eric, is it Leewald?
Oh, Eric Lewald, he's done a lot.
Yeah, you should be really familiar with him.
Yeah, he Extra Squad.
Yeah, he's a story editor on Exo
Yep.
Squad. He's a story editor on X-Men, the 1992
Oh yeah.
series. He was a story editor on Gargoyles. He was a story editor on Beetlejuice, which means, you know, yeah, he was like a show. That's what showrunner was back then.
Yeah.
But he wrote a bunch of the episodes too. He also wrote episodes for Spiral Zone. Uh,
That's a neat show. I've watched a little
yeah,
bit of it.
well, yeah, we ought to mess around with Spiral Zone one day.
Spiral Zone.
And then Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 and a lot more. Both these guys have like a ton of like writing credits under them.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was the story editor on Exo Squad and wrote like a bunch of the episodes. So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're well, I find this with a lot of the GoBots episodes we've done so far. There's really nothing wrong with the episode. It's a solid 22-minute story.
hmm and
There's little things, but we get
with the
that.
Exo Squad kind of parallel, you know, Mobius kind of reminded me of Algernon.
Oh, 100% that.
Yeah, were you thinking of Algernon when you were watching it?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a reason why, because same writers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Algernon's a bit more of a dandy, let's say.
Oh yeah, but I meant like their whole attitude towards science and their
Oh yeah.
research and everything. That
Uh,
they're almost the same guy.
I love and to kind of like to keep on your point here, where Algernon would be like, science doesn't care about your wars or anything like that. Like honestly, um, Mobius was just doing stuff, but he was doing things that I don't know, maybe were unappreciated or underappreciated,
Well,
and
and
by most, not everyone.
yeah. Well, I remember Algernon made that point too
Oh
in
yeah,
Exo
that's what I
Squad.
mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all didn't like want to pay for my research.
He said it was too expensive.
Yeah. So I could see Algernon is like I'd say he's about like 80% Mobius and about 20% Braxis.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The definitely the big pain in the neck that Braxis is, yeah, and
Yeah. Well,
that's
that and
cleaning it up.
I could see the dandiness because Braxis
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
like to do anything physical or
no,
yeah.
no. But
He's too
man,
busy perfecting his graffiti art. Braxis was the evil Banksy.
God, I've seen some, I never really understood the Banksy, thing. Like then I saw some of the art he's done. It's really good.
Oh yeah, and the social commentary is like
Yeah.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
that's part of probably why I think it's so flipping good.
Hmm.
Braxis is nothing. Braxis is the guy he wrote on his book in middle school, and thought he was cool.
Drew that crazy S.
The crazy eight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good times. So
man. So,
we
just
we see
aside,
Scratch is oh
a
yeah,
little, a
Scratch is
little,
getting his first assignment.
a little aside, real quick.
Oh, aside, yes, please.
Um, so since I don't know he doesn't watch this, it cracks me freak up. My wife's ex-husband, he like my wife had a lot of ink on her arms, like from someone I knew her
Hmm.
back, sides, everything. She's got a lot of ink, which I was a big thing for me. I like that a lot. Which I've got my own in the time, Woohoo! And then so he when they got divorced, he was still in a motorcycle club, and he decided to give his like you use his pull as a senior member to get one of the junior members to give him a free tattoo, and it was a crazy eight, like the
Hmm.
S
Yeah.
on his forearm, and it got infected because he was an idiot. Anyways, moving on. I,
Oh,
I
that's
thought it was
it.
kind of funny.
So
That's
when are
all.
you gonna get like a Leader One tattoo and then she can get a Crasher? You know Crasher has that crush on Leader One.
Or Turbo and her have a thing going on too.
Well, that's more of a rivalry.
Mm.
Because remember when they put her in the brainstormer, it was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Leader
how
One's like,
handsy he
we
was.
don't need to talk like they dated before or something, you know?
Well, like Crasher is like she's like she's kind of like the goth bad girl, and he's the prep.
Oh yeah,
I
she's the
always had
muscle mommy.
yeah. That's the term I've heard in a long time. But yeah, so leader one scootering scratch.
Yeah,
Why?
they're traveling to the Omega Quadrant
And why is it that every time we see a black SUV, they sound like Chris Christopherson's doing the voice?
because they are.
Trailbreaker and Scratch. They're the same
Yeah.
character.
Oh, they totally are.
Um,
Well, without the force fields.
well, without the force field, yeah. Scratch is kind of useless, let's be honest, in this entire episode. But the genius guy, Dr. Mobius,
Yeah.
is seen in the space station. He's like one of those circular space stations with the core.
Yeah.
And
And did his voice sound familiar at all?
it did. I was trying to place it. I couldn't.
Think He-Man.
Oh God. I can't think of his name. Skeletor?
Yep. He's Alan Oppenheimer.
Alan Oppenheimer, who
Yeah,
did a
he
lot
kind
of
of had
voices.
a voice that was like in between Skeletor and Man-at-Arms.
That makes, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah. Who's also a beachcomber in Transformers, so
Hey guys, you just wouldn't understand. It's
yeah.
nature, baby.
And
So
his son Danny actually has kind of a filmation look to him.
he does. He has, you mean Carrot Top the kid?
Yeah.
He very much does.
His hair actually is kind of like the newer Pennywise's hair.
And it is. He kind of had a little elements of Daniel from the '86 Transformers movie.
Yeah, he
Some
kind
of
of
the,
reminded me of like every kid that was in the Filmation He-Man cartoon.
yeah, he had
Yeah.
this kind of voice that sounded very much like Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel. So yeah, that's immediately what I thought. And also, this kid needs a leash.
A
God,
leash, a
leash.
leech, or
He
a
probably does that
mantenna
too. He
for
needs a
Grizzlord.
leash because he is
Oh,
another kid. What's that?
oh, I don't want to get ahead yet, but yeah, he's another kid that gets in the way, right?
Mm-hmm. We're
Yeah.
talking about the gyroscope toy.
Yeah, yeah, we're about to touch on that because I mean, him and Scott Tracker can hang out.
That's my next. That's my next line here. Is he's as bad as Scott Tracker?
Oh, worse.
Well, like Scott Tracker, he actually helps, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dr. Mobius has invented the inverter ray,
Yeah.
and it right now it shoots disco balls on the space station. So,
He makes
but
disco balls disappear, baby.
yeah, and Danny comes in. He's like, "Dad, look, I fixed my gyroscope." And the gyroscope floats across the room and shuts off the beam and makes the inverter smoke. Like he almost makes the inverter like blast the space station.
Yeah. He he,
So
he's kind of an annoying kid at this point.
last time I checked, that's not how gyroscopes work anyway.
No.
Yeah.
They
That
kind of just you could like start them and they just like spin there and like hover and
they hold
stay.
whatever position they're in, you
Yeah.
know?
They don't
Yeah.
spin around. They're not like free floating. They're not Cybertron in space.
It look it looked like a bumble ball with like little like orbital shells around it.
100%.
Yeah. And it certainly did bumble. So his dad tells him like, go back, go away while I'm working, And so Danny decides, oh, well, look, no one's guarding the pods. They have flight pods or something. So he just like hijacks one and goes for a joyride.
Okay, well, actually, he got some of his watch. He has this really cool like radar watch that his dad made for him. He's like,
Yeah.
he looks and there's like empty corridors. Like, oh, I should go there. Why his dad gave him a way? His dad, if you watch, if you know any of the Harry Potter movies, his dad gave him a digital Marauder map. Like, oh, I could just leave. No one's
Yeah.
gonna even see me.
He's got his own little villain screen on his wrist.
100%. So
Yeah.
yeah, he gets in a pod and flies off. He's like, "Yay! I'm leader one. I'm gonna destroy all you renegades."
Yeah. And he gets his wish
Yeah,
because Thruster
it's
shows
frustrating.
up just as he's doing it. And it's funny because earlier when they're talking to Scratch on the command center, they're sending him out there because they said the Omega Quadrant was very remote and it hadn't been attacked by renegades, but they felt vulnerable. And it's like, man, speak of the devil, and here come the renegades. And yeah, the Guardians arrive just as the renegades begin their attack. So everything is just so timely.
It is, and also the so Psykill and Braxis show up on the station.
Yeah, so they've made up apparently. I don't
That's
know
what I was
why
about to say.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're speaking again.
Yeah, after
They're
he
like
tried to
a
kill Braxis.
yes, they're like a really toxic married couple.
They are. They're codependent.
He okay, Psykill has two marriages going on. We'll get into that later. One's to Braxis and one's to Crasher.
Yeah.
Do you know what Tom I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I laughed so hard at
And
that
and then it's just like, yeah, I don't know why Braxis keeps working with Psycho because Psycho tries to kill him like every time they work
every
together.
time.
And then, Psycho's always like, oh, I'm done with Braxis. He's exceeded his usefulness. And then the next thing you know, it's like, hey, we got Braxis back because we needed him for something else. Like, well, why don't you just keep Braxis and be nice to him?
I love Psykill's voice actor, the voice he does.
Yeah, oh, his voice is perfect, man.
He's so arrogant and so smarmy, but also so sarcastic.
Oh, yeah, he's got the full range of villain going
He
on.
does. He's
Yeah.
great. He's my favorite voice on the show.
Yeah,
Easy.
it's Bernard Earhart. Yeah, there's no replacement for that dude's voice.
Oh God, no.
I don't even really know anyone that could do it now. I mean,
No.
I'm sure there is,
Well,
but
it's like doing a Starscream. You can't really match Chris Lotta, but you can get close.
yeah, and it's just that baritone, and there's a arrogant like smarminess, like he's sarcastic and arrogant.
He actually the same the tone of the voice is very much oh God, it was Mud from Star Trek, who plays Muddermonger.
Oh yeah, Roger C. Carmel.
Yes, Archie C. Carmel has the same tone.
Hmm.
And I don't know if he could do the same like the speech pattern, but he has the same tenor voice.
It's like if you married Roger C. Carmel's voice uh to Darth Vader.
Yeah, it kind of is actually.
Yeah.
That's a
Because
great way to
he's
put
got that resonance like James Earl Jones does when he's doing the Vader voice.
it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's got that sarcasm. Man, yeah. I really want to see GoBots like revived.
Well, honestly, the show is really well animated. Still, I'm finding every time we watch it, yes, there's animation flubs, but that's typical.
Yeah, there's a couple of those too.
Yeah, there are,
I'll touch on.
but I mean,
But
like, it's really
that's
well
in
animated.
everything. Even cartoons made today,
Oh yeah,
like like have their little errors.
That's fine. I mean, there's that. Well, I don't know if it's so much today, so much because you're using a lot more. CG animation, like cell shaded CG animation.
Yeah, but it still happens though with, things get overlaid wrong,
Yeah.
maybe something gets scaled wrong or, you know.
I could see it more with like classic cell animation where you have
Yeah.
layers, plates,
And
and
you can't edit it as easily. Once it's
yeah,
there, it's there.
yeah. Anyways,
So it's easier when it's digitized. So
so
yeah, the renegades attack and Mobius runs to the station chief. And did this station chief look familiar to you at all?
he does, and I don't know why. He kind of reminded me, um, God, he kind of looked like like the older Scotty from Star Trek
That's
4.
exactly who he's modeled to look like. I think he looked like James Doohan.
Oh, he does look like, okay, he is James doing. I like look at like going,
Uh,
God,
he's not, but I mean, he looks just like him. If they didn't mean it, it sure came out because I mean,
yeah. It is definitely Star Trek 4 James Doohan.
it's like if the Filmation Star Trek series
Oh God, yes.
did that. I mean, look at him. That if you look at him, and I sent you a screenshot. That is Scotty. That's older Scotty,
That's Scotty from maybe like
like
if
Wrath of Khan or something.
Wrath of Khan, maybe, yeah, because he's still got a little salt and pepper in there.
Yeah,
I love that you shared me a picture so I can look at this with you.
yeah. You had to see it again to really get, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's James Doohan.
Okay, I feel better now. I wasn't the only one thinking that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt there. But his voice sounds like Jack Angel.
It's because it is.
No, I don't
Oh,
know. Maybe, but he's not credited.
okay, well, it may not be. I don't know.
And nobody knows who did this character or anything. So, but he's
Yeah,
not. But if you listen to him, he sounds like Jack Angel doing his Ultra Magnus voice.
I'll have to listen to it again.
Yeah,
But Psykill leaves with Braxis in one arm and like the Mobius in the other arm in their spacesuits. He's like flying up to the thruster.
and those spacesuits look so weird with their like TV heads.
They do. They have this little square screen like with their faces in there.
And we've
Yeah,
seen them before, like in the miniseries, but it still looks weird when you see them again because you used to dome helmets,
yeah.
not square faced helmets. They look almost like hazmat suits or something.
Well, they're vac suits because that's what they all look like.
Right?
Um,
So,
yes, but then the renegades shoot the space station so it falls out of orbit.
well, first he makes a deal with Mobius. He says,
Oh,
"Yeah, we'll cease
right.
our attack if you come with us." He's like, "Well, I've got to get my son." He's like, "Oh, he'll be safer here." And he's like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Trust me." And then as soon as they leave, he fires on
Fire.
the station. So
Yep.
I think Psykill knows Danny.
He does. That kid's terrible.
Yeah. So the space station starts to like fall into the orbit of whatever planet. So we don't know where the Omega Quadrant is. It's somewhere in space. It's remote. And thruster takes off, and the command center tries like using their tractor beam to pull the station out of the free fall to the planet, and they can't
Not
do it. But
enough.
so Leader One comes out and helps too, and that was enough.
Well, Captain saved the station.
Yeah,
Yep. He pull between leader one and the command center, they pull back in orbit. Then like James Doohan's like, great, we're alive. Cool.
yeah,
The dude, that kid needs some discipline, seriously.
yeah. He does, and
Well,
then
yeah, so Truba finds him in space and you're like, kid, come on, let's go.
yeah, stick with me because he's
Stick
like,
with
oh,
me.
there's a kid out here in the middle of this fight. So yeah, he got him back there, and then they get him back to the station, and Danny's like, "We need to go save my dad." He goes, "We're going to," and he goes, "Well, I want to go too." And he's like, "Nah,
You're staying
"This is
here.
some, yeah, this is something Optimus Prime wouldn't have done because Optimus Prime would drag like Spike in.
Oh
Spike would
yeah.
like go, 'Oh, I'm coming. It's my dad.'" Okay, Leader One's like, "No, stay here. It's not safe for a kid out there."
Yeah, but just like Daniel, Danny doesn't
Yeah,
care. He's gonna do
yeah.
he's
He
he's gonna
stows away on the command center anyway.
he's gonna give Ultra Magnus his birthday.
Yeah, kid,
Uh,
don't listen.
kids are terrible.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I say we find out here that the inverter ray can make a planet implode.
Yeah, that's where we find out what it inverts the polarity inside the planet, which I don't know. It's all technobabble. That doesn't mean anything.
Pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's a woo beam.
Yeah. But
It uses essential oils to
even more than that, it uses Plutotite.
know, Pluto site.
No, I thought it was Plutosite. Then it said Plutotite later.
Well, yeah, it's Pluto site.
Okay, Plutosite.
Yeah, and because he needs it to scale it up,
Yeah. So
and
my note was like, so they need, oh, sorry, I'll fix it now. So they need Plutosite. So they got to go to Pluto to get Plutosite because
yeah,
everyone knows you can only find Plutosite on Pluto
yeah.
because that's real.
We haven't taken any core samples from Pluto, so who knows?
We know there's like frozen methane oceans there, man.
Yeah, well, we
It
know now. And I would like to say that GoBots advanced human technology a lot quicker than Cybertronian tech did.
Oh yeah, they were like,
Because
we can't give the humans this technology. Gobotron's like, yeah, what do they want, man? Unicom, you can have it all.
oh yeah, and I mean we've got like deep space stations all the way out in like remote places. You didn't see stuff like that in Transformers until 2005,
Yeah.
like in third season. So
With Marissa Fabon.
yeah, but I mean 1985, GoBots are there already.
Yeah. They're like, hey, do you want some more weapons? We got those.
So yeah,
Uh,
they need to go mine Plutosite from Pluto. So who are they going to call through the astro beam?
Screwhead.
Screwhead. He's the drill daddy.
I've got to get him just so I can call him Drill Daddy instead.
Drill daddy.
Hey, Drill Daddy. Yeah, I'm here. What do you need, Drill? Okay, Drill Daddy, give me all the plutocite you can handle.
Yeah, and I mean he does his job.
It's like flying everywhere and it's falling all over Praxis and Mobius.
Mobius. Yeah, they're like picking up all the bits that he's drilling out. And Psykill fusses at Mobius like we need to hurry, and he's like, well, the more Plutosite we have, the more powerful the inverter ray will be.
But that's when the Guardians show up.
Yep. Because I guess Scooter tracked them to Pluto.
Yep.
And so he says, okay, well, we're going to turn the inverter beam onto the command center.
Oh yeah. Because
So,
that's honestly it's the smartest thing they could have done.
and everything is fine until Psykill's villain cam shows him Danny suffering inside the command center.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm disappearing. And I don't understand. Okay, it makes it sound like it actually sounds like the grav shield
kind of does.
because it's supposed to collapse the planets and stuff. So it kind of, but instead it just like makes you disappear,
Yeah,
fade out of existence.
yeah. Um,
But its function, the way it's described, it sounds like the graph shield from Exo Squad.
it kind of does. It just well, except the graph shield crushes things down to like a finite
Well,
small
that's what he
mass.
describes as it collapses planets.
He does say that way. That's right, but it actually makes them disappear. So you're right. It does actually sound like it collapses them on the core. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's kind of
It's
up
just
in the
not
air.
animated like that.
Yeah.
They
Um.
probably they're like, hey, we only got so much budget, man.
Not to like pull away from the episode or anything, but I was like looking around my office desk, which I do all kinds of stuff up here. Yeah, I'm really shocked they didn't do the Zybot like as a GoBot somewhere. These guys are actually just great, and like just like with GoBots, I've really gotten like soft on GoBots because they're functional.
Hmm.
And I think that's what really what a lot of times when we lose perspective with Transformers because when we watch these episodes of GoBots where let's say for instance coming up here Leader One gets hit,
Hmm.
he falls and he slowly converts into his jet mode. He just kind of lays down and puts his parts up. We're talking about the Super GoBot earlier. Um, I like the idea that where it's not super complicated but you have true like conversion without having to have 30 steps to do it. So I kind of I'm really realizing I enjoy that really a lot about Gobots, and we have
It's the
fun stuff.
playability because you don't have to slow down the action
Yeah,
to convert them. And
and
that's the way it works in the show too. It
yeah,
takes about the same amount of time.
that's why I was kind of I was making my point with that. Like we see
Yeah.
these battles and stuff go on. The transformation, which really it got bad around I think it got bad mostly around Transformers Red 2001 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You had like breakaways for like anime conversions
Yeah.
or transformations, and you get away from the quick transformations of like say the G1 cartoon because they didn't spend a lot of time transforming. They're just like, okay, we're done. And yes, you had to transform slowly on the playground, but GoBots doesn't really do that. It's kind of my whole point here is they're just very utilitarian with how they do things.
Yeah, you didn't have to, they weren't as complex in
No,
their engineering, so you could convert them quickly. Now, I'll tell you
yeah,
where I think where it got worse was in Transformers Cybertron, where there would be like a 30-second cutaway of Optimus Prime transforming, and they would have to
yeah.
do a whole new like voiceover with like Gary Chalk like narrating something while he's transforming because it's like 30 seconds of the
It was
show.
bad. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
like,
Red 2001 was bad enough, but yeah, you're not wrong. You got really bad there in Cybertron because they were like, you know, it would he call it the new Autobot, who like, I can't think of one right now. Like so and so
it'd be like
transform
Leo Breaker or one
the
of them,
Leo
you know?
Breaker.
Yeah.
You're like watching your clock, like this is a 22-minute episode, man. How long are they gonna do this?
Yeah, and he talks smack like Megatron. You're about to get it, Megatron, you know?
And then
It's
when you
like,
like then on that one, if you go like Leo Breaker, arm mode.
oh yeah, after he merged with his trailer too, like he'd do his first transformation, like they'd do like the whole thing just to pad it out.
So yeah, I don't have a lot of good memories of the the Unicron trilogy because of that, I think.
Well,
Oh
I liked Cybertron. Well, I watched it when it was Galaxy Force first,
yeah,
and there wasn't a voiceover over that part.
yeah.
It was just like action music, but it was a little excessive. But story wise, it was pretty good, I thought. It
It
had a good
was.
tension to it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of miss later like G1 series like Master Force and Victory where they did the transformations like the first time it was big. Then after that they kind of like just did it quickly.
Yeah.
And
Although
I think
they would kind of ham up like Star Saber and Victory Leo
well,
and stuff like
because it was
that.
like it was like the Blazing Sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that you Voltron had now the Blazing Sword and
Well, and Voltron would do the same cutaway for when he'd merge into Voltron. So,
yeah. Yeah, but that was really the only time you had a lot.
yeah.
Even like the Pretenders would be the Pretender, and they like fly up and they light up and like all the
They
light
turn into
stuff.
stained glass windows and
Yeah, and then they turn into the robot modes, and then they
yeah.
would do the Pretender stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think really it got really bad around the big protagonist. Anyways, I'm sorry. I was
GoBots
just
wasn't messing with any of that. GoBots is getting to business.
utilitarian. I like it.
Yeah.
Even Turbo is in space. He like
Yeah.
going towards Pluto. He's flying, and he like slowly turns into his car mode, and
Hmm.
just kind of soars through space until he hits the ground, and, like slowly.
Yeah.
And I like that they actually try to play a little of the Plutonian gravity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It seemed like it had lighter gravity.
Well, it
You got a
did.
feel for it. Yeah.
I think when him and
And no
Crasher
one had
were
any cold issues though.
no,
Temperature issues were not a problem.
I think
There had to be some great spacesuits on Braxis and
they must
Mobius,
have. They just peed in them a lot, I guess.
I guess.
They did not have the adventure spacesuits to actually get the pee in. So Crasher's chasing Turbo, and
Yeah.
uh, and then like Turbo finds this rock that does this sort of thing, and like rolls around and comes right behind her. And
Oh,
then
wait. We skipped an important part.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh
Mobius deactivates the inverter ray
yeah,
as it's disappearing everybody in there because the sun's in there. And immediately Crasher snatches him up and she's like, I'm gonna crush you. Like she's threatening to kill him. And Sidekill's like, nah, save it.
save it.
Yeah. So he calls her off of him. And then they go ahead and they fight the Guardians. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was immediate. Like she's like, no, and grabs him. And it's like I just want to see like Crasher like bounce somebody off the wall at some point.
She has the potential. She definitely has the
Yeah, like
potential.
Crasher and Psykill are my two favorite characters on this show.
Oh yeah.
Period.
And then they all the Guardians fly out of the command center and dude, Scratch immediately goes down.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Well, he's the rookie. Like before, we
Yeah,
saw him one time before on I want to say the was it Battle of Gobotron? Is that the episode?
maybe.
A Fall of Gobotron. And he was
Okay.
just on monitor duty.
Okay.
So this is his first time in combat, and you can tell.
Yeah. He's pretty awful.
Yeah, so he gets taken out pretty quick. Um, yeah, and there's a lot of scenes though with like Guardians and Renegades like flying or moving around, and there's no one else in frame, so it's like these could all be just like stock footage
Well, they might have been also.
until you get Turbo and Crasher together.
Yeah. Crasher pursues Turbo.
Yeah, she is right on him until he finds a plutonium half pipe.
That's actually what it is. He does like a
Yeah,
little whoop
yeah.
right behind her. And she converts. She like does her lay down. She stands up from laying down because once again, Gobots are very simplistic. They don't
She
waste
transforms just
time.
like the toy.
Yeah, she stands up and he shoots her with his headlights
Yeah,
or
he
whatever.
flashes his headlights at her,
Well,
and she goes down.
this is one of my favorite parts of this episode. Psycho, I'm hurt.
Yeah,
It's Psycho's like, I'm on the way. I can't remember what he
yeah,
said, but it
I'm
sounded like that.
coming. Yeah, he goes,
I'm
I'm
coming.
coming.
He
Yeah,
sounds
he
like
sounds so annoyed.
he sounds like a really annoyed husband, and I love it. I that was my favorite part of this entire episode. Hearing their dynamic, they're like an old married couple. Hey, man, he's like, "Oh, I'm coming. All right,
Yeah,
I'm having fun down here in the basement by myself, but I was practicing my Jedi techniques, but I'll come help you. Okay,
yeah.
fine."
There's a leak under the sink or something. Something he can't ignore, like it's spewing water. The toilet's like erupting water.
The
I'm
baby's
coming.
dirty. Help me. I'm trying to cook dinner. Fine, I'm coming.
Yeah, the fracking
Um,
water's coming out of the sink. It's on fire. I'm coming.
Oh, but there's a scene here where Braxis decides to hook Mobius up to a brain scanner.
Yeah, the brainstormer.
Brainstormer, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Brainstormer. And I love the fact that Mobius has turned this whole brainstorm, if you will, into a class.
yeah. Well,
He's a professor in front of a blackboard.
right. Oh, but before this though, the way they get away from the Guardians
Huh?
is Psykill uses Mobius as a
Oh,
hostage.
that's right.
Yeah, and they leave on Thruster, and then he tells Mobius, "Well, if you cooperate, I might even let you live."
Thanks.
Uh, And then we cut to they're on like some kind of like dwarf planet that's near
Yeah,
Gobotron.
some asteroid, a dwarf planet or something. Yeah,
Yeah, I say dwarf planet because it's spherical, roughly. So it's yeah,
sure.
yeah. It, it's like Ceres or something, you know?
If Pluto can be a dwarf planet, so can this.
Right. It's all dwarf planets in this episode.
But yeah,
I feel like oh, there we
huh?
go. There's a meme for you where they're in the little square spacesuits, and you got Mobius in the front, and he's like, "It's all dwarf planets," and Brax is behind him with the gun. It always was.
I'm gonna need that one.
Yeah, I might have
Yeah,
to make that one.
he's
So
yeah.
he's
So
getting brainstormed. Yeah, and he's like teaching his class, and he's got all these uh formulas and equations, and
Praxis
Braxis
is
is
like
reading them. Yeah,
Praxis is like, of course you do this
no, of course you do it the hard way.
hard way.
Like he's criticizing him, even though he didn't think of this invention. And they had an exchange earlier about
Yeah,
that too. Like, well, you didn't think of this. Like, oh, I would have. And now he's like, oh, look, you did it the hard way. So it's like this academia like cattiness
it's
between
100%
them.
what that is.
Yeah,
It's like, why you're so mean to me? I gotta actually go to class. Yeah,
right.
all that.
And then, of course, Danny has to get involved.
Well, before this though, that's when you have the big broadcast of Gobotron.
Oh no, that's after this.
Oh, it's after this. Okay,
It's after.
I did my stuff out of order.
Well, they put Danny to bed and told him, "Don't worry." AJ puts him to bed, says, "Don't worry about
That's
everything."
okay.
And then, as soon as AJ walks out, Danny's like, "I'm gonna go save my dad." It's like you can't turn your back on this kid. You got to lock the door. He needs to be like confined to quarters.
This
And yeah,
kid, we're in the 80s. This kid needs Ritalin.
he needs something, man. But yeah, so he won't stay out of danger, and he can see on his watch that Mobius is being brainstormed. Like
Yeah.
that watch can see all. I mean, that's like the eye of God in that watch.
It is the security of
Yeah.
doom.
And of course he shows up, he immediately gets captured. Like Crasher chasing around, Copter shows up with him, and they throw him in like the energy cage with Mobius.
Yeah, he's
Which,
like, she's like, aha, I got you. He's like, ah.
first of all, Psykill could have saved everybody trouble by just letting him bring that kid.
Yeah.
Then he could threaten the kid to get, cooperativeness out of or cooperation out of Mobius. And the kid was going to keep showing up anyway. So you're saving the Guardians the problems of wondering where Danny is. It's like, just,
Look, honestly, we learned something that Psykill hates kids to
yeah.
his own detriment.
And that's like aimed right at the audience watching. It's like, oh, he's a meanie. He doesn't like kids.
But he's got a great voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't help but love Sidekill.
Is that
So,
when we get to where there's a broadcast on Gobotron?
let's see. Yeah, then he broadcasts his demands
That's
to
what it is.
Gobotron. Yeah, it's right after he captures Danny.
Greetings, Gobotron, and there's a bunch of random Gobots,
He's on all the big, like, Turbotrons or what? Jumbotron. Sorry,
Jumbotrons.
Jumbotron. Yeah,
That would be something that they call them a Gobotron, Turbotrons. We don't call them
Turbotrons. Yeah.
Jumbotron's here. He's like, I will be named Grand Overlord of Gobotron unless you meet my demands.
Yeah, and he threatens to destroy Gobotron, and no
Yeah.
one confirms that he can do this. He's just
Well,
making threats. And
yeah.
Zmon are like, "Oh, we can't stand up against him." It's like, what?
Well, yeah, he's like there's like a little council with Zemon's in charge of it, and a bunch of random GoBots. I didn't see who they
Yeah,
were.
there's nobody I recognize there.
Yeah.
Bunch of generics.
And they're like, "What do we do, Zemon?" Well, we have to give in to his demands, I guess.
Yeah, it's like just roll it. Well, leader one, is he gonna make it down? Well, if he doesn't, we can't stand up to him. It's like,
Time to roll over, kids.
yeah, no wonder he keeps trying to take over the place because they do. They just roll over when he threatens them
Yeah.
because they didn't do a demonstration of it.
No.
They didn't like destroy a ship or something. Hey, I did that to the ship. Now look what we can do to the whole planet.
Look what I could do to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's usually there's some kind of demonstration first, and
Yeah.
none of that. None
Yeah.
of it.
Why do it? Apparently they
So,
roll over or anything.
and he's supposed to give him time to deliberate, and then what is it? Then the Guardians show up. Yeah, and Psycho goes, "All right, no more Mr. Nice Guy," and
Shoot
tells
it.
Braxis just to fire the ray. It's like, okay, I guess you're not gonna wait for him to meet your demands.
Nope. Just any he's like, dead I was like dead on target or something, direct hit.
Yeah, and then
He's
he takes the Renegades to go fight the command center and the Guardians. And
yeah.
Braxis fires the ray, and then Mobius asks Danny if he has his radar watch, and we don't know what he's doing with it, but he wants his radar watch.
Yeah,
So,
he opens the radar watch. He's like, beep, 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 beep. And like it opens like a little hole in the
wait, that's later. That's
oh,
later.
I'm sorry.
You're getting ahead of things.
It happened so fast, man.
Yeah. Well, see, the next part is Sidekill looks up and sees that Gobotron is still in the sky,
That's right. That's
and
right.
he immediately goes over and starts yelling at Braxis.
You
Braxis like, "No, I'm
idiots.
firing!" And it's like he looks, and it's a hologram of Scooter is projecting a Gobotron.
It's like I was like, you idiot. Gobatron's over there. You're shooting over here. He's like,
And here's the weird thing in the animation
hmm,
is when they point out the real Gobotron, it's as seen through a targeting reticle, but nothing is targeting Gobotron yet.
yet.
Yet. But yeah, it's like there's no target on it yet. And then Leader One blasts Crasher again.
Yeah.
And Mobius, this
Thatcher's
is when
kind of a
Mobius
bad
uses his
day.
radar watch to open a hole in the force field.
And like, you know what to do. And the kid, like Danny goes whoop through the hill.
Yeah, it just
Like they
hops right through
practice
it.
this. Yeah, they've practiced like a sideshow act or something.
Yeah, and then we cut to find Scooter finds Scratch, and Scratch is on his side, and it's like,
He's like,
and
sorry, Scooter.
yeah, it's like you didn't try converting or anything, dude. You just lay there and just lay there. So,
Scratch is like, I get to be in my first battle. I better lay low until it's all over. Then I'll show up.
well, this is like his second one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
he's like the thief in Conan the Destroyer. After
yeah,
the not big monster's dead, he's like, ha ha.
yeah. He's over there eating jewels. So
God.
Danny tries to turn off the inverter ray, but Psykill just breaks off the handle.
Yeah. And so there's still like this much of the handle left, but I guess we can't use that one.
Yeah, and Danny like stumbles back as Psykill's menacing him and bumps into the Astro Beam and teleports Psykill and Braxis to Gobotron.
That was amazing too. It's like a oopsie. And
Yeah,
yeah, they're on
and then
Gobots now.
Psykill blames Braxis for it.
They're the worst old married couple.
They are, and then he calls to Crasher. To Psycho calls Crasher and Copter to come rescue him with Thruster immediately because yeah, the real Gobotron is actually being like disintegrated, phased out, whatever
Mhm.
the inverter does. It's being inverted. And well, Turbo tries to shoot it, but oh no, it's got a built-in force field. I'm like, well, that's the first time this was mentioned.
Yeah, well, well, we can't do it that way, so we got to find another way to do it. And then
And
like that, we have the gyroscope come into play again.
yeah, Danny's like, I know what can mess it up because he messed it up early.
I broke it for you earlier, Dad. Remember our great memories of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sends the
So
gyroscope to invert or like get in the way of the inverter array.
yeah, and somehow that makes the inverter like self-destruct. That's like what that gyroscope does.
Yep.
And it goes right through the force field, I guess, and gets like right in the way of the beam.
Yeah, and
So
blows up. It's done.
yeah, and they all escape. All the Guardians just flee the dwarf planet,
Yeah,
and they need to make like some kind of force field proof missile, like anti force field missiles, out of those gyroscopes. Because
no joke, dude. Oh my
right,
God.
that is like a huge technological advancement right there.
I gotta ask real quick though. Braxis and Psykill are on Gobotron, and
Yeah.
like there's Hans Cuff. Oh,
Oh wait.
okay.
Well, first Braxis declares we're saved when the beam comes out, and Psy kills him. Shut up, you moron. Yeah,
Shut
and
up,
then
you moron.
now please continue. The Guardians are approaching.
Okay, there's Hans Cuff and Buggy Man.
Yeah, Buggy Man. The Guardians
Okay,
are approaching. Like one of the Guardians was Buggy Man.
I was like, wait, did I? Is there a recolor I missed?
No.
Hans Cuff and Buggy Man are gonna come foil the plans.
Yeah. So he's chasing Psykill with Hans Cuff.
He's
And
like,
Psykill just flies away off point like he just flies with Braxis in
he could
tow.
have done the entire time.
Well, he was being inverted earlier, and so like none of their stuff works when they're being inverted.
Oh yeah, of course we
Yeah.
saw.
But yeah. And then we cut back, and Mobius will dedicate his genius to stopping the renegades. I'm like, dude, you weren't doing that before when you were developing this weapon.
Variant Dr. Algernon.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
well, I guess I can use it against them now.
yeah, but I tried giving my inventions to Exo Squad, but they said it was too expensive. Okay, I'll do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, same deal.
Oh, yeah. So, oh, well, I'm sure we can find the budget for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we have no resources and no planet and no monetary system, we'll pay you now.
There really is a lot in this episode that you could see show up in Exo Squad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
100%.
it makes perfect sense when you see who was the co-writer on this.
Eric Lewald.
Yeah.
I should reach out to him, see if he's still doing stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's still doing stuff.
I should reach out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Genius and Son.
It was a fun episode.
It really was a fun episode.
The,
These are they're Man, they're really well animated, and the voice acting is great. I mean, yeah, Cop Tour, whatever. Crasher's good. Psykill's fantastic. The Guardians are fine. But yeah, Psykill,
Turbo is like the heavy hitter in. the
He,
Guardians.
he, Turbo is
He,
the sideswipe slash Ironhide of the Guardians.
well, that I mean, but his personality and everything, he
Oh yeah,
carries the Guardians as a group.
yeah.
Because
Oh yeah, definitely
leader
that.
one is like he's your typical hero. You can't do a whole lot with him.
Leader one's
And
Captain America.
yeah, and
Right.
Scooter is Scooter. You
Yeah.
know, he's useful, but it's really hard to listen to Scooter. And
Yeah.
he pulls the Bumblebee thing where he's always like he's the weak guy they gotta have to cover for. But
Yeah.
he's competent. I mean, he made Braxis shoot at the wrong planet. So, but yeah, Turbo, his personality, that's the one you want to see. You know,
Mhm.
but like Crasher and Psykill, like you're always happy to see them.
100%.
And that's what was good about this episode is, the sci-fi stuff was kind of it was run of the mill. Well, we got a new weapon space gun, but it was the personality interplay between the Braxis and Mobius and Crasher and Psykill and stuff like that.
Anytime I have Braxis and Psykill, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Braxis and Psykill are a fantastic old married couple.
Braxis is good with his interactions with everyone.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have him in as many episodes as I think they should have.
Yeah.
And
The
he kind of makes me wish that they'd done more with Dr. Arkeville and Transformers.
oh
Because could
yeah.
you imagine like Psykill and Brax's relationship done with more like Starscream and Arkeville? Just
That would have been
more of
good.
that showing up throughout like season two.
That would have been good. But
Yeah.
it didn't happen. But we'll have Dr. Arkeville again soon in the
Yeah, he's
Amazon
showing up again soon in the
universe.
Skybound series. So
So there's that.
I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope he lasts a while.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
But
I want to see Arkeville and the Skuxoid like deal with each other.
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
anyways,
good episode, fun
yeah,
episode.
definitely that. And this was Genius and Son, so
Nothing
got
problematic this time.
well it's not Mask, no.
Well, I mean, it's not Time Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it the whole thing.
Go team.
Go team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking us out, and check out the other the channel for other episodes, of different things we're doing. So there's a lot going on here. I'm starting to try to fill out the Patreon now, so look out for that. There's a free, then they're free level, but there's also several levels above that. If you want to support the show, I'd be really thankful for that. Check out the Discord also, where Boo puts a lot of well, all of his thumbnail art. If you want to check out what he does with the different thumbnails for the episodes.
That way, you can actually look at them because they don't stay there long and they're kind of small on the
Yeah,
screens.
definitely that. And above all else, thanks for showing up, and we appreciate you being here. So y'all take it easy. Have a great week, and man, I'll take you out of here.
Bye.
See ya.